15th, 1947 became India's Independence Day? More importantly, do you know why early hours or midnight hours of 0 hours 1 minute was chosen for the transfer of power? There is an interesting and fascinating story behind this transfer of power, which is an integral part of our nation's history and has remained untold for many decades. And that's what I'm gonna reveal in this video of mine. Welcome to my channel Ramya Jyotish, and I'm Ramyashi. If you are new here, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon. If you like my video, please like, share my videos among your friends and family circle. And also don't forget to drop in your feedback or suggestions in the comment box. So let's start. How did this transfer of power happen on 15th of August and why midnight hours or the early hours? In July 1947, our country Bharat was in a very crucial situation. Lord Mountbatten had arrived to India and was in a tremendous hurry to complete this transfer of power. Because after 1945 Second World War, Britain was in such a terrible situation that they had to end their colonial rule in many colonies and they had to be freed from there. And that's why they sent their men to many such colonies where they wanted to get rid of. So they transferred the power and they wanted to get back. This was their plan. So for the same job, Lord Mountbatten also had arrived to India and was in discussion with the leaders here to complete this job. Our neighboring country, which is now, was also anticipating their freedom, and the nation dividing. A lot of things were happening in 1947, especially in July. So that's when one of the freedom fighter, a remarkable person whom we can call as true Shubh Chintak of our country, came up with the wisest approach which actually saved the country from many mishaps or from many kind of problems which were supposed to happen in the future. This visionary leader was none other than Babu Sri Rajendra Prasad, who went on to become the first president of Republic India when a country achieved democracy in 1950. So it was Babu Sri Rajendra Prasad's vision or the wisest approach that he believed in astrology a lot. So he wanted to take this transfer of power in a right time and didn't wanted to hurry or didn't wanted to take it in any random time. So he wanted to consult or get the guidance of astrologers. And that's why he approached two distinguished astrologers of that time, Pandit Hardesh Sharma Trivedi ji, who was the co-founder and editor of Vishwa Vijay Panchang, and also Pandit Surya Narayan Vyas of Ujjain. So when he approached both these astrologers, he did express his deep thoughts as well, and it was very it was one of the finest thoughts anyone could have actually thought for our country. So Babu Sri Rajendra Prasad expressed in front of astrologers that for the last 1000 years, our country has endured a lot of pain, a lot of sufferings. 800 years from Mughals, 200 years from British colonial rule, and now after that amount of immense struggle, when we are about to achieve this freedom, I don't want it to be taken in any random time. It has to be in a Shubh Muhurta, so that no matter what struggles we face in future, our country should be able to grow, prosper and do well in the world, and also our country should have independent voice and stature. This was his vision and this was his thought. When he expressed it to astrologers, they were ready to give a Shubh Muhurta. But he also mentioned that Britishers are very adamant to actually do this transfer of power on 14th of August. Because Britishers had already proposed this date, that 14th of August will be the transfer of power. Our neighboring country had also accepted it. So when Babu Sri Rajendra Prasad informed the astrologers, very quickly both the astrologers advised him not to take the transfer of power at any circumstance on 14th of August. Because on 14th of August, it was Punarvasu Nakshatra, and it was not considered that good actually for any country to start, and it is falling in both Mithun Rashi as well as in Karka Rashi. So that's why they suggested let's not go for it, and the planetary positions at that time also was not that feasible. So they said 14th of August is not right. But Britishers were not ready to modify this. That's when astrologers came up with a plan that will Britishers be flexible at least in terms of time. Is that they want 14th of August the date, and also they have any specific time or not. So when Babu Shri Rajendra Prasad again went back to Britishers and approached them that will they be a little bit flexible at least in terms of time. Fortunately, Britishers agreed for this, and that's when astrologers worked out and came up with the right time, which happened to be 0 hours 1 minute. More than right time, I can say it was the feasible time at that point of time. So they arrived at this midnight hours or the early hours of 15th August 1947 as per the date or the Gregorian calendar, based on 3 critical astrological factors. Firstly, it was in the Abhijit Muhurta of the night time. Secondly, it was in the Pushya Nakshatra, which is known as gem or king of all nakshatras. Thirdly, it was in Vrishab Lagna, which is a Shubha and Sthira Lagna. Why these 3 critical astrological factors were considered? Let me explain one by one. Firstly, Abhijit Muhurta is considered one of the auspicious Muhurta when there is no other superior Muhurta available for the day. When we have to find any good time to perform any task or event, if we are not able to find one in the whole day, choosing Abhijit Muhurta is the best thing, is what most of the scriptures has said, even Muhurta Deepika has well. And that's why Abhijit Muhurta was taken. This Abhijit Muhurta comes 2 times in a day, that is during afternoon, that is the mid-noon time, as well as in the midnight time. During the mid-noon, there would be Punarvasu Nakshatra, and that's the reason astrologers wanted to avoid that, and they took the midnight time. Second thing was the Pushya Nakshatra. Pushya Nakshatra, as I mentioned, was the gem of nakshatras, or also known as king of all nakshatras. So this is the same nakshatra which was used for the coronation of Bhagwan Shri Ram. So that's why Pushya Nakshatra is considered to be very sacred and very auspicious, and it is one of the finest nakshatras also. And it had to be a Guru Pushya Yoga also on that day, because even though 15th of August fell on Friday, as per Indian calendar, it was still Guruvara. So Guru Pushya Yoga also was there on that day. It made much more auspicious. And very importantly, Pushya Nakshatra belonged to Shanidev. So Pushya is Shanidev's one of the nakshatra in the triplets of Shanidev, that is Pushya, Anuradha and Uttara Bhadrapada. All the 3 being Shanidev's nakshatra, Pushya comes the first. So making it on the Pushya Nakshatra will also bring Mata Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva's blessings, because it is in Karka Rashi, which is moon sign, and also it gives that immense feminine goddess power as well, and also Bhagwan Shiva's blessings. So that's why it was very important and it was most auspicious. And because it was Pushya Nakshatra, it would start with the Shani Dasha. That was also very important. And of course, Bhagwan Shiva and Mata Parvati's blessings were also vital role here, was having the vital role. And for a country which is deeply rooted in agriculture like ours, this placement proved especially beneficial, because Karkataka Rashi, being a Jalatattva Rashi or a watery sign, is very fruitful sign, making it ideal for all kinds of agriculture and irrigation activities. Remarkably, at that time, along with moon in Karkatak Rashi, 4 more planets were there. That is totally 5 planets in Karkatak Rashi was there, and this added to a very good strength. Though it was almost like 5 planets like Surya, Chandra, Buddha, Shukra and also Shani. All the 5 planets there had formed a union or a conjunction there. So this was also one of the factor, because moon will get a strength, because any planet will get a strength through conjunction, position or aspect. Moon is in its own house, that is very good. Through conjunction, it is getting a good strength, right? Because Lagna Lord Shukra as well as the Yogkarak Shani is also there. So that's one of the finest combinations. Now the third factor is Vrishab Lagna. So Vrishab Lagna is the divine feminine ascendant, because we revere our country as Bharat Mata, the goddess. So Vrishabha or Taurus represents the only strong, feminine and stable and auspicious ascendant. In the zodiac, in Bachakra, Vrishabha becomes the only Rashi which is Shubha as well as Stira and is very stable. So that's why Vrishabha Lagna, and because it has the blessings of Mata Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva as well, it was considered the best. So this time was actually chosen. So based on these three critical factors, the astrologers came up with this time 0 hours 1 minute for the transfer of power. And not just this, there were other powerful astrological combinations, and one of them was Vrishabha Lagna in Ashtak Varga had 44 points. So this was very important, because for any country which is again emerging or which is getting the freedom and is now able to have its own kind of rule, regulations, everything, it needed some kind of divine nourishment as well, and very importantly it has to be very strong. So Vrishabha Lagna being a Stira Lagna, there will be a very good foundation, because all the Kendras become Stira Rashis, that is fixed and stable. Also being with Lagna having 44 points, it becomes very strong. So any kind of famine, any kind of war, any kind of struggle if a country faces in future, it will be very strong and it will be able to overcome the challenges as well. So this was the vision of the astrologers while choosing this time. Now, when we combine this second and third factor, that is Pushya Nakshatra as well as Vrishab Lagna, we can arrive at this conclusion that Shani Dev is the Yogkarak for Vrishab Lagna, and Surya, Buddha being the good planets for this Lagna. So this becomes the only Lagna where both Surya and Shani are the favorable planets. So for any of the ascendants, we cannot have both these planets in favor. So there will be some or the other kind of unfavorable circumstances whenever Surya Shani is together, or Surya Shani is in opposition, or any kind of connection. And for any Lagna apart from Vrishab Lagna, both Surya and Shani are not the favorable planets. And Vrishab Lagna only has this feature, and that's also one reason why for Vrishab Lagna or why Vrishab Lagna was chosen, and because of which in terms of democracy, this has a very good role, because only being the only ascendant where Sun and Saturn are favorable, political system as well as democracy both will function harmoniously, with the public maintaining supremacy at all times. So that's what we also needed, because Shani represents the democracy, Surya represents that political system. So that ensures that whatever kind of situation is, both democracy and political system go hand in hand, and that made a very good kind of a choice for our country, because the neighboring country which took independence few hours before us somewhat had a military rule, because their Lagna was Mesh Lagna, and when Mangal comes in place, always fights or always some or the other conspiracies or some kind of problems, all the nonsense is what it will take place, and that's what happened to our neighboring country. So that's why a carefully chosen muhurta will always lead to the best and best of results, and this is one of the example. Second thing is the presence of 5 planets in third house, including the Lagna Lord, the second Lord Mercury and fifth Lord Mercury, third Lord Moon also, then fourth Lord Surya, sixth Lord and Lagna Lord Venus, then ninth and 10th Lord Shani Dev. So Lagna Lord, Yoga Karaka, the other 2 benefic planets Surya, Buddha, then Chandra, who is the Lord of that house, Karkatak Rashi, third house, was also there. So all these planets were favorable for the Lagna, and all them getting conjunct in a third house, which is Parakramasthana, or the house of self efforts, proved to be a game changer for our country. So whatever our country will become will be through its own efforts and won't be dependent on any other sources as well. So outside sources as well, because that was pretty important, because for a country to be independent enough for a long time is very essential. So that's what we can see in a country till date also, that whatever we have become as a country is through our own efforts actually. And not just this, this planetary configuration guarantees that a country will survive through its own determined efforts without depending on any kind of external forces, and also maintaining the perpetual independence. So that's what, or the diplomacy we call, is achieved through this. And Jupiter is placed in Kendra from all these 5 planets, which is also very good. So the dharmic foundation is what we have to speak here, because Moon's placement in Pushya Nakshatra combined with such multiple planets along the 3/9 axis activates the dharma, or establishes dharma as the fundamental foundation and root system of a nation, because all the 5 planets in the 3rd house will aspect 9th house, and the conjunction of Surya and Shani with the moon creates a particularly powerful combination. And according to traditional teachings, whenever the ruler possesses the qualities of a sannyasi, or when he is alone or maintains detachment from the material pursuits, the country will achieve tremendous amount of prosperity. And that's what we have seen in the past as well. This positioning of Lagna Lord Venus in close proximity of Yogakaraka Shanidev and other significant planets clearly indicates the divine blessings of Mata Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva as well. So that's very important, because among the Trimurtis, it's only Mahadev who is living on earth in Kailash and taking care of it. That's why no matter how much amount of famine struggles India goes through, because of the blessings of the, Mata Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva, our country is able to survive and overcome those challenges as well. So these were some powerful combinations from India's Independence Day only. So continuing with it, let me even reveal the challenging planetary positions. Like there are certain planetary positions which is giving mixed results. Like Rahu is in the Lagna, Mangal or Kuja is in the 2nd house, Jupiter is in the 6th house, Guru, which creates some kind of complex influences. So that is like Jupiter usually is a functional malefic for Vrishab Lagna. But when he is in the 6th house from the ascendant, because he is the 8th and 11th lord in the 6th house, so he creates a wonderful Viprit Raj Yoga, that is Saral Yoga. And Jupiter's aspects are always favorable. So Guru's aspect on 10th house, 12th house and 2nd house shows that it is very good in many aspects for our country. So Guru sitting in 6th house is somewhat not good. That is, in our country won't actually launch a war or go and attack anyone. It always looks for the wisest and a diplomatic approach. So it also shows that we want to solve the problems through diplomacy, because Jupiter is very important for diplomacy, through talks, through negotiations and all. But Guru being the 8th lord sitting in the 6th house, so it is creating that good amount of Viprit Raj Yoga. So through some or the other way, we will get success is what it indicates. And even though we go through some amount of struggles, at the end, success is ours. And Jupiter's aspects, as I mentioned, on 10th house governs the employment and the leadership. So there is some kind of divine blessings on the leadership also. So if the leaders are dharmic and spiritual, then they are protected in the country, or else they have to face some or the other kind of problems. That's one thing. And second thing is, when it aspects the 12th house through its 7th aspect, it manages the foreign affairs and taxation policies, which is pretty important. And when it aspects the 2nd house through its 9th aspect, which is considered one of the most auspicious one, So it is aspecting the Mangal who is placed in the second house. So when Guru aspects that Mangal there, so 8th and 12th combination is happening there. So even at the worst and worst kind of situation also, we are able to survive, we are able to overcome. So whatever kind of national economy, food industry, everything jo hai, all these things will get managed and we will be able to get out of the problems as quick as possible, and we will flourish when the suitable dasha arrives for our country. So this is what the combination of many other planets and the critical combination also indicate. But now coming with the Mars position in the second house, this creates some kind of economic challenges, and this contributes to the poverty levels as well as increased dependency on foreign direct investments or increased dependency on foreign matters or foreign affairs. That is, our foreign affairs ministry is always active. So they have to keep negotiating, they have to keep fighting to do something within our country also. So that's the challenge which we keep facing throughout our centuries also. And also to mention, Rahu in the Lagna also generates some kind of periodic confusion and illusion among the citizens, and making them susceptible to criminal influences as well. And because of Rahu's exaltation in Surya Nakshatra, Kritika Nakshatra in Vrishab Lagna, this shows that there is some hidden protection through divine energy and through spiritual guardians like Naga Sadhus and all. Because Rahu is usually represented as Naga or Sarpa, and when he gets exalted, we have to take it from a positive way, and when it is in Kritika or Surya's Nakshatra, it should be even more positive, or some spiritual guardian or some divine energy is protecting our country is what we can see. Now if I have to conclude it and say the profound impact of this Muhurta on our country's growth so far in the 7 to 8 decades, because this year we are celebrating 78 years of independence and we'll be entering the 79th year. So for a country which underwent such gruesome 1000 years of foreign invasions, it was not that easy to come to this stage. And the main factor, or one of the vital factor responsible for such a good growth, was the carefully chosen good muhurta by the astrologers Pandit Hardev Sharma Trivedi ji and Pandit Surya Narayan Vyas ji, and also very importantly the visionary leader Babu Shri Rajendra Prasad, who actually we have to be eternally grateful for him, because for their invaluable contribution to our country, especially the way they formed our nation's destiny is remarkable and commendable as well. So that's why Vedic astrology and this Muhurta concept has enabled our country to navigate through countless amount of challenges. And there is a live example also that our neighboring country who achieved independence few hours before us, what did happen to them? So it is pretty important for our country to survive and overcome challenges, and Vedic astrology can help in this matter. So this was one of the finest examples I could present, and also to convey through this video that why 15th of August 1947 was chosen for Indian independence, and also why midnight hours or early hours, 0 hours 1 minute itself. I hope you have got the answer for it. Any kind of clarification, any doubts, any feedback, suggestions, please do drop in the comment section. I will definitely respond as soon as possible. And in our next video, I'll explain how the Chandra Mahadasha over the past 10 years laid an extraordinary foundation for our country's transformation from India to Bharat, along with detailed predictions for the upcoming Mars Dasha period, which is starting from September 2025. So this month, August, will be the last month of Chandra Mahadasha. From next month, we will have Mangal Dasha. We are expecting some gruesome incidents or some disturbing incidents in the last week of August or after 15th of August. Once Surya moves to Simha Rashi on 17th of August, either in the last 2 weeks or in the first 2 weeks of September, there is a Chandragrahan also on 7th of September. I will cover that also. So this is very vital and will be very sensitive also during this time. And from 13th of August, Guru is entering Punarvasu Nakshatra. So any pending work of anyone, either looking for a job or for a job change or any new location or any kind of reinstating work or to begin something, 13th of August onwards you can start. So this is from the individual level, and until then, keep watching Ramya Jyotish. Please do write to me, or if you want to take up consultation from me, please do fill the form in the description, or you can visit my channel's description also about me, where I have given the email ID. You can even write to me there as well. So that's it for the day. Happy Independence Day in advance, and wishing everyone happy Raksha Bandhan also, and happy Janmashtami, everything. So, namaste.